Yeah.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hey guys,
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
what's up?
Huyen, I was meaning to ask you. I hate to put you on the spot, and I likely know the answer, but you didn't by any chance watch the show last week, did you?
I didn't, you guys. I'm sorry.
So you missed our first non-AI generated patron art.
Oh no, I did.
Did you see it?
No,
Here, I'll pull it up for you. It's still on
please.
Patreon. You can see it there, but I'll show it to you.
I'm not logged into our Patreon.
It's okay. You don't have to be. It's all right.
I guess I just go to patreon.com/AndroidFaithful.
Here you go. Well, no, here I'm going to pull it up right now. Hang on.
Okay.
Stand by. But yeah, it was funny. Ironically, when you weren't on the show, because you were the one who was calling for it.
Oh,
But yeah, so
is it a kettle?
Here it is. I'll make it bigger. So someone by the name of Alex made this by hand while he was in the car waiting to pick his kids up from gymnastics. And if you notice, the bug droids are all of us. There you are with the little purple on around your eyes.
Oh, that's so cool.
There's Mishaal with his plushie and glasses. There's me with pinball flippers for hands. And Flora saying, "Oh, that flow." And a very tall bug droid is Jason.
I'm just all legs.
I like the human intelligence. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
That's excellent.
I had just assumed that it was AI because of the lettering, but
I
like that a lot, Alex.
Alex never wrote in to clarify that, but I think that was done on purpose to mock.
I love that so much, and thank you for copying my pink.
I did have a funny. Speaking of lettering and AI, I was using Nano Banana, which we're going to talk about on the show this week. But I was using Nano Banana today for just doing stuff I used to do in Photoshop, but faster, right? And basically, what I had screenshots of web pages that I wanted to put in the bezel of a phone. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do all the time. Right. That sort of thing. Like when you do mock-ups or stuff like that. And these were actually like news articles.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And so I was like, take this screenshot and put it in the bezel of a phone. I'm doing a deck, whatever. And I did it. It looked really great. And then I realized I couldn't use it because I zoomed in and realized that in the process of me uploading the screenshot and Nano Banana doing it, it turned the text of the article into nonsense.
yeah.
Oh.
It just turned it into Russian or whatever it is. And I wanted to show off the article. That was the whole purpose of it. But it in the processing, it rewrote the article in non-English.
It can't help itself. It's just like, but we got to get in there and do something.
Thing.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anytime well, I guess the new Nano Banana is better at retaining if you ask it, but it's not perfect.
Yeah,
because it is recreating every time. Even you know what I mean. It's not like just passing through that portion unedited. It's recreating it. It's just how well is it recreating it?
I just gave up and went back to Photoshop in that case.
Yeah.
So.
With lots of words and stuff, maybe not, but
although we'll look at it on the show later. But this week's patron pick, Nano Banana hit a home run. So
kind of surprisingly.
Yeah, like disturbingly, actually, like first swing. And
actually, there's an antithesis to what I saw, because I was researching heart rate zones, and I kept running across this article, which had the most. I should have saved it. It was the most munged AI generated thing where if you squint at it, it looks like a really amazing infographic, but you just like look a little harder, it is complete nonsense. I should have saved it. It was like the most AI slop nonsense. It wasn't even good AI slop. It was just slop.
Yeah.
And so to contrast that with what it's able to do now, it is kind of freaky. Like, okay.
I mean, do you remember however many Cousin Josh says my mic is clipping again? Are you hearing the clicking thing?
Nope.
Okay. I heard some clicks happening. I don't think it was my mic, Cousin Josh. I think it was something in the background somewhere. But anyways, let me know. How many years ago was it when Deep Dream was a thing? Remember Deep Dream?
What is Deep Dream?
Deep Dream. This was... Deep Dream generate here. I'll show you. I think you'll remember once you see kind of the throwback images. It's funny that this is throwback because this wasn't that long ago. Remember Deep Dream was like all the
Oh shit, Shipubu, yes.
Shabubu, TensorFlow, Deep Dream, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
This was like early. I mean, relatively speaking,
I never
early.
understood that. It makes me itchy. Or
Yeah.
makes me... Look at that. Look at that second one tiled down below the big picture. That's like the thing. That's like no.
That's disturbing. That's
Thank
disturbing.
you.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing these and being like, whoa, that's crazy that like AI just created that. And then a short period of time later, we're now at like,
is it real?
Yeah. It's just
you're probably all over it, Jason, but DuckDuckGo has the AI detector or the filter in the search results now.
Oh, do they? Oh,
I wasn't aware
of
to
that.
filter out AI images. I don't know how they're doing it, but yeah. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, as some of the images are probably easy to do that because they probably have, the watermark embedded into the metadata,
right?
And so that's probably low hanging fruit. But,
Synth ID.
Yeah, Synth ID, and I think
Yeah.
there's other ones, but yeah.
Indeed.
Oh my god.
Indeed. If you
I've been
can't tell,
traveling so
y'all,
much.
we're all a little low energy tonight. We all got on the call. We're like, hey, how you doing? It's been a day. How you doing? It's been a day. Oh, hey, Win, how you doing? So at least we're all there together.
So I'm traveling 3 places for Thanksgiving, 2 places for Christmas. I get back here in Colorado after Christmas travels on January 3rd, and then right before my birthday, I have to go back to California. So I'm going to California like 3 times in 6 weeks. It's like, I'm not complaining, but also like, I think I don't remember what my house looks like anymore, you guys.
Yeah,
I really don't.
That's hard.
It's okay. It's all important stuff. It'll be fun. Work will pay for food, and that's
It'll be
fine.
a good time.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's nice.
That's good. We had.
Do they pay for good food or just food?
It's the end of the year, so
they're
budgets
like
are tight.
party hard.
Well, we're running out of budget, so apparently we get
maybe
lunch.
not. The obvious.
We get lunch, not dinner.
I see.
But yeah, we'll see. I think generally it's okay. So
yeah. Sweet. Well, y'all.
Shibuya.
Should we do a show?
Yeah, we should.
Let's do it.
I like that. Pre-tryptophan syndrome disorder.
Yes, anticipatory tryptophan.
Yeah, we're front loading our tryptophan.
My kids are so excited for Thanksgiving this year, and I don't understand
Aw.
why. My daughter's more excited for me to make her French toast on Thanksgiving morning while we watch the parade more than.
Is that
I
your
love
thing?
that. Yes,
No, I don't. All of a sudden, she's like a couple of days ago. She's like, last year you made French toast in the morning when we watched the parade. And she wants something. She starts talking like in very short staccato. She's like, she's like, when we watched the parade, we had French toast. Will you do that again? And I was like, sure, if you want it. And so
building a tradition. That sounds like a good Thanksgiving
it'll be
morning
fun.
thing to do. I might have to plan for that too. Make
French toast,
for
bacon,
everyone.
and hot air
wonderful.
balloons or helium balloons.
I always love watching is it the Rose Parade or the Macy's Parade?
No, it's the Macy's.
Day Parade.
Macy's
The Rose
Thanksgiving Day
right.
Parade.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I got to go to YouTube. Oh, so before we start, I will share this anecdote, and then we can start. So there's a Disney cartoon about 2 of Santa's elves called Prep and Landing that they did. Like 15 years ago, they did 2 specials. The idea is that these are the elves that go ahead of Santa, and they're the prep and landing crew that get the house ready for Santa to arrive, and stuff happens. And they haven't, and it's very old, but now 13 years later, they finally did a new special, and it is premiering on Thanksgiving, on the evening of Thanksgiving on the Disney Channel at 7:00, as my son tells me every night. And then it's on Disney Plus on Friday. So now my children have no concept of channels of like shows being on at a time. They go to the app and they watch whenever they want. And so they're like, oh, when are we going to watch Prep and Landing? I'm like, well, it's going to be on Disney Plus on Friday. And he's like, but it premieres on Thursday at 7. Can we watch it then? And I was like, well, yeah, we could, but I don't know what we're going to be doing Thursday and whatever. And I was like, all right, well, and so then he was like, well, why is it going to be on Disney Plus on Thanksgiving? I'm like, no, it's going to be on Disney Plus on Friday. And he's like, well, why? I'm like, well, because it's going to be on the Disney Channel. He's like, what's the Disney Channel? I was like, there's these things called channels, and I'm like, they play TV at a specific time, and if you're not there at that time, you miss it. And so
do you know what a playlist is?
Yeah,
it's a playlist for the entire country.
So I'm trying to explain to him how the whole thing. So then finally I'm like, all right, dude, I'm gonna record it at 7 on the Disney Channel, and I'm like, and he's like, how are you gonna record it? I'm like, I'm gonna record it with YouTube TV, and he's like, you're gonna publish it on YouTube? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna publish it on YouTube. And he's just like,
you just don't understand.
It just like was
it
was just like stepping on rakes, trying to explain to a 6-year-old content distribution and television programming and the difference between YouTube and YouTube TV. And he's like, you just want likes. And I was like, I was like, so that's what my life has been. So
wow.
So now I'm gonna record the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on YouTube TV. So,
they have the other show.
They have the balloon inflation special. I'm gonna record that too.
That sounds fun.
I already set to record the Private Landing show, so we'll watch it Thursday whenever, because I've recorded it, so we'll watch it whenever. So
wait, so Clinton, are you actually able to watch now? My understanding was he was able to be in chat but not watch wherever he happens to be. Oh, he's on a cruise, and so hopefully he's not breaking his streak, watching every episode. Next 2 cruises. So you're here. I got you. Okay. So you are here watching this. Got it. Okay. Well, good to have you here, sir. Okay, let's do this.
Let's
do
it.
a show.
Let's get this going before I
Show.
literally reach the end of my ability to stay awake.
It's the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh,
Wow. What happens on the 100th?
We'll find out next year.
They let the balloons go into the air.
And no more parade.
Yep.
That would be horrible.
All right, rock and roll.
Actually, I don't know the last time that I watched it, but anyways. Okay, we good?
Let's do it.
And we got Win doing the intro. I will take off my video. Okay, got that. All right, stand by, because here we go. Oh, turn off loop. Okay, here we go.
Welcome. This is Android Faithful, where every week, even if our faces are a little sleepy inside, we are wide awake and bushy-tailed and wide-eyed and bushy-tailed to talk to Android stuff about you, hardware, news, apps, everything in this, our world of Android. I'm Huyen now.
Oh, sorry. I'm Jason Howe. Sorry, I almost fell asleep there.
And I'm Ron Richards. The turkey is getting to us a little early, 2 days before Thanksgiving here in the States.
Front loading tryptophan.
Yeah.
On the show.
Oh man, but yes, we are here for another week of Android. Welcome back, Win. We missed you last week.
I missed you guys too.
Yeah.
I missed you guys
good to
very
have you
much.
back.
Yeah.
World traveler, country traveler,
Just domestic this time.
America
Question
traveler.
mark.
Right, domestic traveler.
There we go.
Cool. How we doing? How are we feeling? Other than I think we're all kind of in a similar state of, and the news is going to pick us up. It's going to energize us. That's what's going to happen, right?
It's funny because we keep saying it's going to start quieting down. Things are going to quiet down, but then it's like it's like the Android roller coaster.
Yeah.
Just never stops churning.
Never stops. Don't stop. Don't quit.
But
Don't stop believing.
But I'm excited for this week because this week's got some fun and exciting and wacky stuff to talk about. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah, not to spoil it, but including something that I believe on the show a couple of weeks ago, we said, oh, that'll never happen. When pigs fly, when hell freezes over, that'll happen.
Yes.
What is it? Stay tuned.
Should we just get right into it, or?
I don't know. Do we have something to mention at the top?
Oh, yes, we do, actually. Oh, my God, we totally do, everybody. So listen, at the top of the show, I totally missed it. I should have looked at my own notes. those of you listening who like the show but are not members of our Patreon and who are not supporting us, Android Faithful, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. We love you. If you would like to, and as you may or may not know, right after Thanksgiving is a little thing called Black Friday, which I can't stand the whole concept, but still get on the bandwagon. We're getting on the bandwagon. People like to make things on sale, so we figured why not us too? So starting tonight, literally starting tonight, Tuesday, November 25th, at the moment of us recording, lasting for a week until next Monday, you can get 25% off an annual membership of the Android Faithful Patreon. All you've got to use is use promo code Black Friday, and that expires on December 1st at the end of the day, very late at 11:59 Eastern time, I believe. And so if you've been on the fence and you're like, I'm not sure if I want to support Android Faithful or not, this is a chance to get 25% off. That's nice. Like a lot. That's a big hunk. That's a big chunk of it. And it's an 25% off annual membership starting at the $10 a month or higher tier. So that gets you the after show. It gets you the ad-free version of the whatchamacallit, of the audio podcast. It gets you a mug. It gets you stickers. It gets you all the cool stuff.
Gets you after hours.
Yeah. So go to after the bonus episode, Android Faithful After Hours. So go to patreon.com/Android Faithful, and you've got a week. You've just got just under a week to sign up and get 25% off. If you've been on the fence, now's the time to jump. So go for it, everybody.
Do it.
And we thank you if you choose to do that.
Yeah, thank you. Indeed. We love our patrons.
We do very much.
We love our listeners and our viewers as well.
All of you guys.
If you're a fan of the show, we love you and we thank you for your support.
Yeah.
But the Patreon, it goes deeper. Just because you are directly supporting us, so thank you.
And it also should be worth mention that you can also gift a membership to Patreon to someone. So if you are a listener and you're putting together your Christmas list, your significant other says, "What do you want?" You say, "Hey, I really like this podcast. I'd really like to support it. Give that gift to me for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you celebrate." Someone can gift it to you. Just ask for it. And you can do that over a Patreon as well. You can give the gift of Android Faithful. So
I do want to point out, Cousin of Jaw makes a really apropos point to say that promo code LeakyPeaky25 no longer works.
Yes, that did expire.
Was that our actual code a year ago?
It might have been.
May have been.
But yeah. So you can go.
Black Friday.
You can sign up now. Use promo code Black Friday. Get 25% off of annual membership, or tell someone you want to support Android Faithful and have them give it to you as a gift for the holidays. That can be done as well too. So,
yeah,
and they can take advantage of the 25% off. So
there you go.
Yep. So
there you go. Okay.
All right, let's get into the hell frozen over news.
What on earth were we talking about when we said that, Ron?
So what was very funny was that last week, what day was it? Thursday or Friday last week? It was
Thursday.
It was November 20th. I'll never forget it, where I was on November 20th on Thursday, when all of a sudden our private chat amongst all of us blew up. My feed on Threads blew up because Google announced that they've enabled the ability for AirDrop to work between Android and iPhones.
Who? What? Who saw that coming? No one. No one saw that coming.
Not my bingo card.
And we literally, I think the response was, "Wait, what? What?
Huh? Huh?"
So Google posted to the keyword blog, and Jason, I added that link there if you want to show it to our folks there. Yeah, but they said, they're excited to announce that they're introducing a way for QuickShare to work with AirDrop for the Pixel 10 family of phones. And they included a neat little video of it working. And I felt as if everybody I followed immediately was posting videos of them trying it and working or not working or whatever it might be. Everybody sprung into action. The folks over at Android Authority very quickly clarified that this AirDrop integration isn't just Android to iPhone, but it also works in the other direction as well, so that iPhones can beam files to Android as well. So it does work both ways. And literally had everybody's head spinning in how did they do this? Why did they do this? What is going on? What the heck? Because this is the thing that we, as Jason, as you mentioned, earlier in the show, we talked a couple of weeks ago saying this will never happen. And Mishaal has been on the show outlining all the things that Google has been prepping and building to kind of copycat this functionality, or, at least within the Android ecosystem. And we're trying to figure out, well, could this work as a workaround to work with iPhones or whatever it might be? And then they drop it on us.
Boom.
So it's really wild. So
Really is.
What's interesting, and what a lot of people were pointing to, and Flo mentioned it. So Flo made this the subject of the Android Faithful newsletter that she published last Friday, which I encourage everybody to go subscribe to if you haven't, over at androidfaithful.com. But she, she kind of further kind of pointed to, as other people did, and explained that the ability, this, I want to say security hole, but the opportunity for, if you scroll down, Jason, you can see it. The opportunity for this to happen exists because of interoperability, which is perceived to be from escalating antitrust pressure from the European Union. And basically the EU's Digital Market Act, has kind of designated Apple as a gatekeeper and told them that they need to open up, and that they're mandating Apple phase out their proprietary protocol, which is called Apple Wireless Direct Link, and enable support for Wi-Fi Aware instead. And now Wi-Fi Aware is included in iOS 26 and iPadOS 26, and Wi-Fi Aware has been a part of Android since version 8. And supposedly that's how Google found a way to make this work. Now, what's interesting is, and if Mishaal was here, he would be talking about this, and he made a point to make sure that we talked about it on the show. Mishaal is very skeptical of the reasoning behind this being the EU. He posted over on Threads, and I'll read it verbatim to give Mishaal's words. He said, "I've heard claims that the EU is responsible for this because they made Apple deprecate AWDL, but has anyone actually verified that? I looked at the document that is cited as evidence, but nowhere does it say that Apple must deprecate AWDL. In fact, it clearly states that Apple can be in compliance with the DMA just by implementing Wi-Fi Aware, which they have. That does not mean they are forced to deprecate AWDL. And speaking with someone familiar with the new Quick Share features development, Apple still uses AWDL for AirDrop, and AWDL is indeed not compatible with Wi-Fi Aware. And this is mentioned in the same EU DMA document. So Apple being forced by the EU to implement Wi-Fi Aware was not why or how Google was able to get AirDrop supported in Quick Share. From what I'm told, Google did actually implement AWDL support, which is a lot of words. So
That is.
yeah. So basically, long story short, Google did what Beeper did with iMessage, and they reverse engineered AWDL to make it work between Quick Share and AirDrop, which is crazy and wild.
So then the question is, has Google even responded to this yet on this? I don't know that I've seen a Google response. Or sorry, not Google, Apple.
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't seen that either. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know that they necessarily have. That's of course where my mind jumps is, okay, we've been here before in the beeper thing, and Apple was not very happy about it, and there was a reaction at least. But maybe this is different. Maybe, because Google isn't necessarily hacking something. You know what I mean? Like hacking a system around. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be
See if
really
this sticks.
surprised if they did that, just because Google's very cautious. They have an army of legal people that would anticipate, I think Beeper was very well trying to make a point, and they were a small company.
Yeah.
So I would be kind of surprised if Google went that approach. I mean, I admit that that's possible, but I'd be very surprised just knowing how very specifically Google handles, quite like basically any kind of action they take that could warrant like a cease and desist from another company. It just seems very interesting.
Yeah. Well, so now that's the next story. So I just confirmed that so Apple has not officially responded. But I'm seeing a whole bunch of chatter online that everyone's waiting to see what Apple's response is going to be, and based off the Beeper example and other stuff, supposing that Apple's going to try to shut it down, but they haven't said anything. So,
yeah, I'm trying right now to quick share between my Pixel 10 Pro and my Mac, and it's not working. But maybe there's an update that I need that I don't have.
I did
yet.
see people posting online. I haven't tried it just because I've been busy, but I have seen people posting mixed results. I saw people going, "It works," and people going, "I can't get it to work." And so I wonder if it's one of the things that like kind of works, or who knows?
Yay, boo.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
or
But,
there is like some sort of an update that needs to come through. I do remember seeing that. My Android security, my latest update was the November 5th, which was before all of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'm just missing an update.
Yeah, maybe you're behind or some sort of thing. But,
That might be it. Yeah.
yeah. But nobody saw this coming. This might be one of the biggest surprise stories of the year, late in the year. I don't know.
Oh, it says your device needs to restart to complete the update. Okay, so apparently it had downloaded an update. It just hadn't applied it.
No,
well, now I'm going to restart. I'll check back in a little bit and let you know, like, did it actually start working? And if so, I'll show it so we can get some visual on it.
Yeah.
That's huge news. That's huge. When you think about like the kind of, let's say, lock-in features that Apple users have had. Yes, it was the messaging thing that got tackled for the most part, anyways. And then this was another one, like we said a couple of weeks ago. Seriously, did not think this was going to happen, and yet, boom, out of nowhere, it does. Pretty convinced because we mentioned it on the show. So Google, we know you're listening. There you go.
We materialized it for them by wishing for it.
We're
going to
say
we manifested.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Manifesting is the kid's word.
We're gonna say thank you, Google, and you're welcome, Google.
Yeah. Manifesting AirDrop on Android.
I like it. Manifesting AirDrop.
Love
Good.
Love it.
All right. Well, we all like us a big story and kind of like talking about big trends as well as surprise, as well as Tuesday surprises. So there's an article out by CNBC that was citing some Federal Reserve research. And basically, I don't think it's too surprising in a sense that Americans are holding onto devices longer than ever. And the second part of that title from CNBC, and it's costing the economy, that has a big asterisk on it. But it does seem that Americans are holding onto their devices longer. The average smartphone ownership period has increased from 22 months in 2016 to 29 months currently. That doesn't seem like a huge jump, but again, that's on average. So by kind of blending both the people that have to get their new phone every year versus the folks that I know a lot of which listen to us hold on to their phones for a really long time. And of course, the main reason for that is financial reasons amid economic uncertainty and the way things are going. And I think so CNBC talked to a lot of different people, and this article is not just about individual consumers and how they keep their technology, but specifically on the impact of business, and that's where it's actually costing the economy. They didn't really state specifically that individual consumers keeping technology is maybe impacting the economy, but it is a thing that is happening, and it's probably both the end consumer and the business side of it are coming from similar places. Economic uncertainty. But they talked to a lot of different people. Like they talked to a woman from Tucson who has kept, I think it was like an A series something that's like 6 years old because she cannot afford a replacement. But the most interesting thing perhaps is some studies that, number one, a study that they cited that was done by the Federal Reserve that looked into more. It wasn't specifically smartphones, but it was investment in technology and the vintage, I think, is what I skimmed the research a little bit. It was pretty heavy. There were like formulas and all kinds of stuff that my brain is not big enough to wrap around. But the idea is basically looking at productivity between different regions, the US, UK, and like the UK, US, Europe, and the UK, and understanding the role of investing in keeping technology up to date, and the role that played in productivity. Generally speaking, the US, according to that Federal Reserve research, does a pretty good job at updating in spurts, but kind of more on the micro level. It is like the way that both people and businesses have to keep technology longer because of these concerns it does create a productivity drag. So in the research cited from the Federal Reserve that they cited, each additional year that companies delay equipment upgrades result in roughly a 1/3% decline in productivity. That doesn't sound like a lot, like an abstract, but of course, if you kind of extrapolate that across, an entire economy, that is quite a bit. And, productivity drag comes from things like, outdated hardware, outdated software, and of course, things we like to talk about on this show a lot, degraded batteries. And so, of course, it's not like we should blame both people and businesses for the fact that they cannot financially update their hardware every year. But there's kind of a lot of entropy in the system, in this economic system, that kind of feeds into itself. And so not being able to upgrade or stay up to date, both hardware and software wise, leads to kind of broader impacts to productivity. And then, of course, the kind of lovely, capitalist cycle goes on and on and on. And there's a lot of like really interesting thoughts from different people kind of that they quoted. So I guess, would you guys say that in your daily lives, you've been impacted by having a slow hardware and or slow software? Like that, I don't know, that you have a tangible, experience with this
like
yourself?
On mobile?
Not necessarily mobile, but just in general.
Just in technology, yeah, definitely on technology. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I have a desktop. I have a Mac Mini that is. Oh geez, I don't know what year it is, but it's like I can barely use it. Like I need to. Like thank God. I'm very lucky in that I have a relatively new, in the last 2 years, laptop that I can lean on. But like if I didn't have this laptop, I would have to upgrade. I would have to do something to this Mac Mini because it's just a dog. You know, and right, and so it's we're very lucky in that we often benefit from review unit devices for phones and things like that, so we're not in the whole thing. But like I often, I cite on the show a lot, I talk about my sister who's an English teacher, high school teacher. She's despite me trying to get her to upgrade, I think she's still on a Pixel 7. Right? I mean, like, how many years?
That's only 3 years old.
It feels like an eternity. I look at it and I'm like, oh God, it looks old, because I'm so used to it, right? But it just seems like it seems like an eternity. But and the thing about what I took away from this article, which I think is really interesting, is that I think the drag on the economy and productivity from slower devices and battery life and stuff like that, I think that's a little not far-fetched, but that's a little like okay. But but what I do think is what I thought was interesting, what I think is interesting is the gap between the pickup rate or the adoption rate of people buying new phones going down, and yet it seems as if the release rate of manufacturers is going up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like dramatically. And at some point there's got to be a back room with stacks of unbought Samsung phones somewhere, right? Like how do they manage the inventory to the demand? And those two are going in two different directions, Yeah.
There were some things in the article that I think actually would, benefit both ways. It's like tackling this problem of, okay, and like I definitely have this problem at work. Not with phones, but with like my computer. I literally had to upgrade it. My manager literally force upgraded me, and I was very thankful to be force upgraded, because my 3-year-old, and it was only 3 years old. My 3-year-old MacBook Pro was taking like 10 minutes to like do a thing where it could have taken a minute.
Oh my gosh.
And I was dealing with a configuration issue with like a work thing that I was actually doing that same process, continue like successively. Repeatedly. Thank you. So yeah, but I agree that I think that it could be a little self-serving to say, hey people, make the economy better by buying things more often. But there were some really good perspectives on this about how we can make the process of upgrading, not necessarily buying new devices, but upgrading to kind of keep that productivity up more interesting. And they talked to someone named Cassandra Cummings, who is CEO of a New Jersey-based electronics design company called Thomas Instrumentation. And she did cite, like the whole concept of having to keep backwards compatibility between new tech and old tech is hard. It does require effort. We've talked about it a little bit on the show, but it is a source of cost and resourcing and time. But that she cited kind of that there should be designs that are repairable or more modular rather than the constant purge and replace cycles, which I think is actually really interesting. That, okay, granted, if old hardware and old software is dragging the productivity down, then we should be not just like forcing people to buy new stuff, but to improving the ability to repair. And even like they talked to someone who was heavily involved in like refurbishment technologies and how like the refurbishment economy, and he said it's a little bit kind of dark and dingy. Like there's not a lot of regulation, not a lot of like system support, so when you get things refurbished, it's a little bit like backroomy feeling. Yeah, cross fingers. And that if we could just get like more regulation and support, that if refurbishment would actually become a much more safer and more viable option to, again, reduce waste, but also keep things more updated. And I thought those two thoughts were actually very valid, that not to make people buy more stuff more often, but to help us actually maintain the things that we have. Because I feel bad about having this many phones and like sustainability and things like that, and also cost. So
me too.
I did think, I agree that there's a very self-serving, hey, buy more stuff, guys. But I really did like what people had to say about, refurbishment and making things truly repairable and modular. Like we've been asking for, like the phone. What was it? The phone? Which phone was it? That was like the Google concept
phone.
The
Fairphone? No.
The Fairphone. Yeah. The Fairphone things. Yeah. So I don't know. It was really interesting. And there is an impact to old technology. That's a legitimate impact, but how we approach it, maybe that's something that, we can all decide differently than buy new stuff. I want to say the SHIT, but anyway.
But that was really interesting. So much fun.
Yeah, I mean, getting new stuff is fun. I mean, but it's again, it's like it's market. The market needs to define what is acceptable, right?
Yeah.
And I guess and when you said it earlier, like I don't think it's responsible for employers to set an expectation on employees to have the latest and greatest phone. Like it's the employee. Like if they're setting a standard, like your manager did, like you need to have this level of equipment, so the employer needs to provide it. Like that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's like I haven't, like I always advocate people to buy their phones, straight unlocked, like don't do any of the financing or pay, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and whether or not that, and Jason, we were talking last week about that Motorola phone, like the affordable Motorola phone, like, we're so focused on the $900, flagship phone, when really maybe there should be more attention paid to the $300 low end, $500 mid range affordable phone, versus whether a repairable phone, but a more realistic purchase phone.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I mean, but there is the flip side of that, which is, that phone right out of the gate kind of suffers from a lower, kind of internal build out. Yeah. Oh, totally. Just like setting it up and everything, I mean, we mess around with so many high-end phones. It's impossible not to notice it, right? Because they just are night and day. And, but is that good enough? And it's interesting. Very interesting.
Very.
Real quick before I get into this other piece of big news that Mishaal was in charge of for Android Authority, I have on my phone. Quick share.
Oh, there it is.
I have this image that thankfully you can only see a part of. This is actually a fake image because I was out at Google's campus last week, right in between Gemini's launch and Nano Banana Pro's launch. And so this was a generated image of me. So I'm sharing it. And sure enough, after I restarted, Jason's MacBook. And then you can see on my laptop, let's see here.
Wow.
So I'm going to go ahead and share to it. Let's see. I'm just sharing to it. There you go. It appears. Yes, save to downloads.
Live.
It's happening in real time. This is how it goes, ladies and gentlemen, and it's transferring slowly but surely. And then let's see here. I will do this and poof. We got it. That's a generated image, by the way. Doesn't that look like me?
It does, and I want that sweater. I'm so sad that sweater's not real.
So what needed to be updated, Jason, in order for you to get that?
I had some sort of a system update. It didn't really give me any clarity as far as what needed to be updated, because when I went into my settings and said check for the latest OS update, it said you're up to date. But then I went to there was another tab that said something like software update. When I went there, it said you need to restart to install this update. And so it didn't give me any clarification as far as
I have your devices up to date, system updated to November 5th.
That was what I saw. But now if you go to settings, here, let's see if maybe I can, let's see. Here, I'll show it. Maybe. So I went into settings and system, software updates, and then I think maybe it was the Google Play system update. That's what it was.
Yep.
Now it says your device is up to date. But when I went in there last time, yeah. Because see, my system
your device is up
November
to date.
5th.
What was the last? Yeah.
My Play system update says it says October 1st. Oh, weird. Maybe it wasn't.
So it wasn't.
That.
It's
God,
not. It's not Google
anymore.
Play.
No, it's not Google Play then. I don't even
know.
know.
What it was.
That's so weird. I wonder what it was. Yeah, totally. Because it's not either of those. Anyways, who knows? I
don't have it, so I gotta find out. I gotta find out what it is.
I wonder if they've been sneaking the code in like over time, but somehow they hid it from Android Authority and Mishaal type people. So
yeah,
Mishaal type people.
Yeah.
There is only one. There's only what? There's only one and only. There's
the
one and only Mishaal, but you know those type people.
Type person. Well, speaking of Mishaal type people, here is another article that Mishaal wrote that got a lot of pickup on Android Authority. Mishaal wrote about a job posting that was sent. Someone sent this posting to him. Tom Merritt and I talked with him on the Daily Tech News Show this morning about this. So if you want more information straight from the horse's mouth, you can check that out. But he told us that he was sent by someone a job posting that was from LinkedIn that mentioned Google was hiring of kind of like a senior role.
A senior.
They're
looking for senior developer.
Senior role in its new Aluminium OS effort. And so far, it sounds like the job post has since been removed. But what is this? A unified Android-based operating system for PCs that would eventually, don't know how long, but probably a little ways down the line, eventually replace Chrome OS. This is something that has been hinted at for the last, I don't know, at least the last year. We've heard some references by Sundar and stuff at different moments of how, they were working in this direction. And so this seems to show that they're really working in that direction, or at least hiring in that direction, and want it to be secretive enough that they, removed the job posting so you couldn't continue to see it. Either that or maybe they hired the role. Maybe that's why they took it down. Anyways, it would, according to the posting that Mishaal got, it would deeply integrate Google's Gemini AI in what sounds like a similar way as what Android XR did recently. Android XR being Google's first kind of Android-based OS with Gemini built at its core. They've said that many times. This would target entry-level PCs all the way to premium devices, not just PCs, maybe even tablets as well. Mishaal says there would be a transition that would be gradual with legacy support for Chrome OS hardware. And that's what there is. And by the way, it's not aluminum. It's easier to look at it and think Aluminum OS. It's Aluminium.
Aluminium.
The I
Wait,
is there.
for real?
Yes,
No.
it's Aluminium.
That's the British pronunciation.
Well,
I saw this get picked up all over the place. Actually, this got a ton of pickup as a story. The whole Android to the PC thing is, I feel like that is going to be a big. I mean, as we look to, I know we always do at the end of the year, like our predictions or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the big story of 2026 for sure.
Dun, dun, dun. Kind of seems like it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are into it.
Yeah. By the way, Aluminium, IUM, like chromium, but Aluminium.
Oh, yeah, it is spelled
Chromium.
aluminum. Yeah,
Aluminium.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
it is.
I'm right. Yeah. Aluminium versus aluminum.
Yep.
Aluminium is American and Canadian. Aluminium is British English. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so it's spelled different, and I think that's intentional because it's kind of like chromium, aluminium.
Yeah.
Anyways, and it gives you permission to say aluminium.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, also just speaking of Gemini rolling out things, Gemini rolling out to Android Auto globally, that is worldwide. So say goodbye, kiss goodbye to Assistant. Features, like adding stops along route with your voice, sending and editing messages, translations, summaries. You could summarize while you're driving. Isn't that amazing? Access, of course, to calendar integrations, Gmail, notes, create music playlists, that sort of stuff.
The more I use Android Auto, the more it drives me crazy. By the way, it really does. It frustrates. Something as simple like I find myself, and maybe Gemini will change it, and maybe it's an assistant problem, but I find myself using the phone while I'm driving more because something as simple like I got the kids in the car, my son's going through a Michael Jackson phase, he wants to hear Beat It. Right. So I will say, hey, G, play Beat It by Michael Jackson on YouTube Music. And then it's got to do the beep. And then it's got to go, okay, playing Beat It by Michael Jackson on YouTube Music. And then I'll see it load up on YouTube Music. It'll play a second of music, do the assistant beep again, and pause the music so that assistant can beep. And then not play, and then I have to manually press play on the music to have it play again. It's so unbelievably annoying. I hate that stuff. Yeah. So I just use my phone now. It's the worst. Yeah,
because you'll only get burned so many times before you're like, well, this is just pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just threw out our kitchen Echo. It's gone.
Oh wow.
But it's really old. So, it's kind of hard to know whether it's just like it stopped working because Google Homes are annoying or if it's just so old that it just kind of reached the end of its life. But I think it's kind of probably the latter more than the former. So anyways, there you go. That's the Gemini update.
All right.
I'll wait for it, see what happens. I'm with you, Ron. I don't do I'm tired of doing anything too fancy with my Android Auto. I pretty much playlists and maps. Anything else is just
I enter my destination when I'm in park on my phone, and then I hit start navigation, and then when I'm driving, I've gotten very good at being able to navigate Pocket Casts or YouTube Music from the phone, and I'll do forward and back and stuff like that, but I'm not talking to the thing at all anymore. It's been so bad. So maybe Gemini will be better. I'll keep an open mind.
I really wonder if not to kind of rag on anyone who's done UI research on this, but the example that Gabe was like, oh, hey, gee, I'm feeling like barbecue, and then this whole conversation, I'm maybe call me skeptical, but I can't think of how many times I have that use case where I'm in the car. Usually when I'm in the car, I know where I'm going and I'm just going there. And I'd rather sit, park and just my husband and I negotiate what's for lunch rather than having G pick something out for me. I don't know. It's just not my use case, and I'm a little skeptical about it.
But we've all been driving and wish that our car would summarize something. So finally we can do that.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to segue that correctly. Well, if you're like Ron and you prefer to look at your phone and you have a Samsung phone like me, you might be pleasantly surprised to hear Ryan Haynes over at Android Authority's review on the Samsung's Now Bar and Now Brief. Two features which kind of aim to fill a Google at-a-glance hole in your Samsung-sized life.
And why are we talking about this particular article right now?
Oh, shoot. It's because it's the patron pick, you guys. I can see it's that day. I completely mispassed all of that. Thank you so much. I was about to start talking about it. So yeah, it's a patron pick, you guys. So every Monday we put up 3 stories. Some of them patrons submitted, like this story we're about to talk about. Oh, shoot. I just totally spoiled everything. Wow. Gosh darn it. All right, bring the poll up. Okay, we had a poll, and the reason we're talking about Ryan Haynes' article is because there was a patron poll, you guys. Just a day. This is what happens when I take too many weeks off. I just lose it. I just lose it. I had my notes up. I was ready to go. All right.
We're ready to
So
go.
every Monday we we take 3 stories. Some of them patron submitted, some of them us submitted, and we ask our patrons to vote on them. You guys have until Tuesday, to vote. And oh my God, along with the patron picks, I'm so glad you reminded me of this. We asked people to submit a nice hero image, and this week is absolutely delightful. I'm going to assume that's me, because it's a thankful for Android's faithful image. It's kind of got a Peanuts like little vibe. Maybe that's just from the lettering.
It's Nano Banana hits a home run.
Nano Banana. Okay,
we
so
didn't have a Thanksgiving themed bug droid, so I took it upon myself in Gemini to say, I dropped in a photo of the 3 of us, and I said, turn us into bug droids and put us at a Thanksgiving table in the Charlie Brown style. And it delivered big time. And I do enjoy that it made me Charlie Brown, by the way, by putting me, because Jason, you are tall and on the right in the Android Faithful T-shirt, and Huyen, you're in the center with your hair,
the purple hair.
And then it put Charlie Brown's hat on me, which I thought is fitting. So there you go.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's got a lovely spread. It's got Peanuts come Norman Rockwell Thanksgiving spread with the turkey and the green bean casserole, the pumpkin.
I want to eat all that food.
I'm hungry right now, y'all.
Yeah.
It looks like a really good turkey.
Does.
Sorry, wait. Thanksgiving spread. Actually, it really rendered the logo of Android Faithful, like,
it handled it really well. Yeah, it didn't destroy it. Yeah,
totally.
That was pretty good. It's even a little bit like to the side. Jason Droid is tall in this because he's standing on the chair.
Yeah, don't give me too much credit. Don't give my height too much credit. I'm just standing on a chair.
Yes, I definitely, please take a look at it. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And the hair is actually even more fabulous than my hair actually looks. So wow, that's amazing, Ron. Thank you for submitting that. Yeah. It was so funny because I saw it earlier. I was like, ooh, what's that picture? I see a droid purple hair. And then I just went ahead and blasted through the entire framing of this as the patron pick. So yes, we already know what you're going to talk about. Do you guys want to know what the other things that we're not going to talk about right now, but we are going to talk about in after hours after the show? Remember that part. Well, the least winningest article this week was about Android soon having airplane mode sync between your phone and watch. Ooh, sounds kind of handy. 23% of y'all wanted to talk about that, but we're going to have to wait till after hours. Second story at 30% was Graphene OS's big hardware debut is more than a year away. You'll have to, again, wait for after hours for our patrons for that. But what we are going to talk about today, which I already started talking about, is Samsung's Now Bar and Now Breathe. Fill in a Samsung size Google Now / Google at a glance hole in your heart. I've actually have both of these on my phone. So Ryan Haynes over at Android 30 did like a pretty in-depth kind of review of his like thoughts and feelings about them. And these features, specifically the Now bar, which you'll see if you on the lock screen of your Samsung phone, you'll see it at the bottom of your lock screen. And it's not too unlike live updates or even the dynamic island, where it tries to give you, I would even hesitate to call them cards, just little pills, little bubbles with, at a glance, like Google at a glance information. So usually, since it's football season and my family does fantasy football, I usually have whatever game I'm interested in. I've had like media show up there, a lot of, news, things like that. Not news, that's the other thing. But, a lot of, it's meant to be, again, that reminiscent of that old very easily consumable information that is just presented to you proactively. And what Ryan Haynes specifically relates it to is like, yeah, you call it Dynamic Island, but it's like if Dynamic Island was made by Google, because it really does seem to feed off of that infrastructure that allows, Samsung in this case, to understand what you're interested in and really put it forward to you, as opposed to, something a little more generalized. That is the Now bar. Now the Now bar, depending, once you move out of the lock screen, it does go up into the notification shade, where it's a little bit bigger, and clicking on each card will bring you up into like a more specific and a larger interface for it. I agree with Ryan, who stated with some dismay about it being in the notification shade, because especially now in like One UI, since it's split, it's a little distracting for it to go from the bottom of your phone all the way to the top left for me. So I think there's a little bit of unevenness in the experience there, but it is pretty handy. I like it a lot, and it does feel very like 2025. It's it's got a lot of color to it. It's easy to read. There's a lot of interesting things there. I will say I tend
It
to
looks
have
like
trouble.
a pill.
It does look
It's
like a pill.
pill-shaped.
It's transparent. It's all 2025.
Yeah.
I will say I've had trouble going from the lock screen, opening it up. I don't know if that's a lock screen thing or not, but it is really handy, and it does seem to have a little more juice in it than maybe OnePlus's live updates or Apple's Dynamic Island, at least according to Ryan Haynes. Now, the other thing to go with it is the Now Brief, which is a separate feature, but is more like at a glance, where if you open it up, and like I have a Now Brief widget on my Z Fold 7, it opens you up into a page. I think if you scroll down, no, that's the second one.
This one?
No,
Oh,
the
the second
go
one,
one
this
down.
one,
Yeah,
this
this one.
Got
So
it.
it's more like it's just like at a glance, where it kind of summarizes a lot of things that you might care about, whether that's calendar appointments, the weather. It tries to find news that is relevant to you, but Ryan said it was a little more general, and it tries to just give you a snapshot of what might be important now, and it does change throughout the day. So like at night, mine will say like, hey, good night, here are some things for tomorrow, here's some things to read before bed kind of vibe, where in the morning it's like, hey, here's the way to start your day, and here are your upcoming appointments. So it's meant to be that kind of summary, because we all like summaries, but kind of like, collating a bunch of different information and presenting it to you as a user as a way to kind of get you a lot of what you need really quickly. And it's separate, although they are named very similar things. But I guess the idea is now. So right now you're looking at your phone, and now you're getting a whole bunch of stuff into your eyeballs. And I enjoy both features. I don't use the Now Brief as much as I could, but there is a widget for it. And I don't know. There's a lot of room for improvement. There are places where the customization, the recommendations might not feel so tailored, but yeah, Ryan is overall impressed with it, and I have to say, so am I.
Yeah, I like the look of it. I'll have to play around with that, see what it's all about.
It's interesting when a OEM does something that outshines what Google's doing. It appears, right?
It's really nice. Like it kind of just works. It's there, and I would say it's natural enough that I understand what's going on. It's just showing me stuff I'm interested in, especially if you're a sports ball fan. It's I'd say it's very delightful for that, or not delightful if you're like me and you're a Washington Commanders fan. It's been a crap season. You don't have to see like the devastation for yourself. You can just look real quick at your now bar and be like, all right, that's fine. Put your phone back down. So saving you a little bit of grief. But yeah, there you go. That was our patron pick for the week. And of course, as we mentioned before already, this show would not be possible without our patrons, like the lovely and wonderful Joshua Helton and Lin Feng. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for both supporting us. Thank you for submitting stories, because it's always great to see and hear what you guys are interested in having us talk about. So yeah. And if you want to continue supporting us, you can go to patreon.com/AndroidFaithful or go directly to our website, AndroidFaithful.com.
That's right. Both work.
Indeed.
Thank you for that. All right. Should we take a break?
Yeah, take a quick break. We come back,
a breather,
and then we'll talk some hardware.
Let's do it.
All right.
So a fun hardware block.
This is a wacky hardware block, because hardware is getting wacky.
It's weird, wild stuff is what it is.
So Jason, you're on the Nubia beat.
Okay.
We've decided now.
I'm on the Nubia. I'm on the Nubia beat.
Yep.
And Nubia is launching 2 new foldable phones, apparently. This is a leak courtesy of Evan Blass. It is published on Android Headlines, is where we're kind of showing off some of the pictures, because we have some leaky images, some leaky peekies. The first one is the Nubia Fold, which we're showing right here. It's the first book-style foldable coming from Nubia, apparently. And it has a near square interior display. Like, it's not quite square, but dang, it looks pretty darn close. So then would that mean that the candy bar part of it would be pretty narrow, right? Because if the candy bar was wider to represent a more wider phone, then that would mean that when it's folded out, it would be a wider ratio. So you might, I'm just thinking out loud, you might have to accept a narrower experience on the folded approach to make room for the squarish interior. And actually, I've never really owned a fold. I've just used them like, does having a squarish interior display, is that an appealing thing for you, when the person on this cast that has direct access and experience, like ongoing experience with like a book style foldable, or does it not matter? You're muted.
My bad. Can you repeat the first part of the question while I fumble with my mute button?
Yeah, that's okay. So the interior display is
Yeah.
square-ish, right? But I don't know, like, is that, so that's kind of like a differentiating factor. I just don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know, as a book style foldable user, is there any benefit that you can see? Like, is that something that you're like, oh, I'd actually like to have a squarish interior display? Or is it
Not
just,
really. And
yeah,
my image
what I was thinking.
is kind of tainted by being a developer, because the problem is that that a square aspect ratio is, I think it's because it's in between landscape and portrait. Most
Yeah.
apps don't know how to handle it. So
No.
occasionally you'll either get something that is like a little too narrow to be landscape and just doesn't work. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be one way or the other. Either commit to the portrait or commit to the landscape, like the OG Pixel Fold. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
I just need it to be big enough for me to do stuff with.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that looks like a very respectable size. It looks kind of Z Fold 6 or 5-ish to me. So
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah,
Not
and that's kind of
bad.
what I'm wondering about the front. I wish we had the front of this, or the dimensions, I guess, of this, to know like how narrow is the front to make room for the squarish interior. But you can see a triple camera system here, and definitely, if I had the Nubia that I showed off a few weeks ago, Z80 Ultra, I believe, it has a similar kind of camera bumpish design to this. So that's obviously Nubia's approach. And then we've got the Nubia Flip is the other leak. Yes, a clamshell style flippable, if you want to call it that. Pretty large cover screen, almost edge to edge. I mean, there's a little bit of a bezel there, but I mean, it pretty much covers the entire cover. So you've got that. Dual cameras, as you can see. Pogo pins on the back near the hinge for something. I don't know that we know exactly what those would be there for, but that's interesting. We also can't see the bottom. Like, would that be a replacement for like a power? I hope not.
Was that?
Yeah, is that like a watch kind of power?
Oh,
thing?
like you
Yeah.
could treat your phone as like a battery watch charger, mobile.
But I mean, I
Yeah.
think usually when that happens, they do like reverse wireless charging. Like, why would it be pogo pin?
Yeah,
It's
I
so
don't know,
weird.
right, yeah.
Or is there like an attachment? Well, I mean, obviously there's an attachment because that's what you do with pogo pins. But like some sort of, like, I'm thinking of was it the Essential phone that had the webcam attached, or the camera attachment that you could put on the top, the 360 camera or whatever.
Right.
But this is near the hinge. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't get that. I don't understand what that's all about.
Yeah.
But it's a leak, so we're not meant to know. These are rumored to launch Q1 2026, so not too long. So if we have these burning questions and we just can't sleep at night because it bothers us that we don't know, it's only a month of not sleeping, okay? And then we'll probably get there pretty soon.
I like that Nubia is making a name for themselves, right? They're coming, they're hot on the scene, and they're here we got
They're moving.
foldables, and
They're shaking.
Yeah, they're making moves. I like it. But
Candlestick
what I
making.
also like is just the trends in hardware, which is awesome. Which is the fact that like we're seeing different things happening and different designs, which is what I'm always asking for. And often on the show, we talk about smartphones, right? Smartphones are like kind of the lay of the land. But truly, when you look at like the requirements for us to talk about on the show is that it has to be Android, and that's all it has to be, right? That's the most important thing. So when I saw this news article come across the wire, I'm like, oh, we got to talk about this. There's a new phone, that's popped up called the Side Phone SP01. All right. Yeah. Look at this one. And it is best described as a modular feature phone. So this is not a smartphone. Okay, so just to give you a sense of the specs here, before I get into it, it has a 2.8-inch screen. Okay, it's running a MediaTek processor. It's got a USB-C charger. It supports 4G LTE, and they describe the camera as retro 2000 style.
Oh god.
And basically what it is that the modular aspect of it is that little T9 old style Nokia style keyboard pops out magnetically, and it can be replaced with what they call a sundial, which is a iPod-esque, early 2000s iPod-esque circular interface that pops back in and allows this feature phone to be navigated via this dial interface versus a T9 keyboard, kind of style.
Oh my god, it does look like an iPod. It does look like an old school iPod. It comes in iPod colors too.
They know what they're doing there.
They know exactly what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing there.
So what's important is if you, and so we're looking at an article on Android Police. So audio listeners, if you want to go back to Android Police, there's an article called Quirky Indie Phone is a modular Nokia iPod hybrid. Go find that article. Jason, if you scroll down the article, there's another video about the first impressions of the side phone, and the thumbnail shows a picture of someone holding it. This thing is tiny. I mean, again, it is a less than 3-inch screen, and the T9 keyboard is smaller than the screen. So the T9 keyboard, the modular keyboard, is probably 2.5 inches maybe, right? So this is truly not meant to be a smartphone, right? It is not meant to be, it is just a feature phone. It is running Android, it is running AOSP, but unknown if you can install apps or run if you can sideload APK files or anything like that. It doesn't have access to Google Play. They're going to have their own custom app library with customized apps ready to download. And they say it'll be possible to sideload APK files, but who knows if you'll be able to. But it won't have Google services installed, so there'll be limits as to what you can do. And we all know the problem with sideloading we've been talking about for weeks. So kind of an uphill battle, and if you're going to use it as a real Android phone. But from a novelty standpoint and a minimalist kind of thing, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it. Very different. I mean, this whole like swap out the bottom area, that's really, I haven't seen that one before. Got to give them credit for that.
That's cool. It doesn't come in colors, by the way. What I was thinking it was color where they have these like little cases, like silicone sleeves.
Yeah.
My gosh, that's so iPod, like the heyday of the iPods with the multicolors and the U2 2 days.
So this is great. Bring it on. Innovate. Do different things. That's awesome. We love, I mean, this goes back, this has got Project Aura feeling, right? With the modular aspect. You don't like, you don't want the keyboard pop in the sundial interface. Like that's, pretty neat. So keep an eye out for that. So the side phone, it's tiny. It's too funny. But that's not even the coolest thing you're going to see all week, is it, Win? You get the best one.
Yeah. So talk about innovation. Now we already talked about this, and specifically, we talked about the Wall-E like phone. In fact, the robot phone that Honor announced in just a video. So we were kind of like, ha about it. We were talking about Louis, which is like the little kind of robot attachment that Jason reviewed. Well, guess what, y'all? People actually saw Honor put the robot phone out in the wild. So at an event called something Carnival. It was called, oh my God, it was in China. It was an event in China.
Honor User Carnival.
Okay, Honor's User Carnival in China.
So
this wasn't like a demo device that people could pick up. They had it in glass, so no touchies. So very much a prototype device, but you could see the real thing, and they had both that. If you didn't remember and you're only listening, so the Honor robot phone was a kind of a thick THICC iPhone looking device, but the camera bump had a gimbal camera, not unlike a DJI Osmo or something, or some other like small actiony creatory camera. And so a arm would fold out from the camera bump and fold up into this little gimbal camera. And the idea is that it is an AI centric device. It's something that, like the Louis that Jason had, is kind of like interactive. It wants your attention. It's meant to kind of like be a true AI assistant, both in like the traditional sense, I guess, in a sense of saying that we've been used to, but also in a physical sense, it goes around with you and kind of observes your world and interacts with you. So you could see it at the Honors User Carnival. And I think they showed it both open and closed. And I guess like the comment I had seen on a couple different articles was this is a chunky wench. This is chunky.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
Chunk
chunk
of
going on.
phone.
That's what we talked about it. We're like, with that camera being the kind of gimbal camera and the camera lens being as thick as it is, how is that gonna fold into the phone? It's got to be thick, and it is. But when you've got a little camera that folds in and out of the phone, who cares? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, fair
That's
enough.
What's important.
And like both the phone and the bump is thick. Like the phone's already thick. Someone, I forgot which article, wrote how funny it is because we look at like the Z Fold 7 and be like, oh my gosh, there's only so much room left for USB-C ports. Whereas I think in the article, someone made a comment, was like, oh, that USB-C port's got like miles of phone around it. So the phone body itself is thick, and then the camera bump, quote unquote camera bump, where little Wally pops out, is also thick. And it's like got layers. It's like a double layer.
It's like steps, right? Yeah.
So, I mean, all that aside, making like a little bit of light teasing aside, this is, I mean, they put their money where their mouth, and they put this forward already, again under glass, but they're showing, hey, they're investing time in this, they're investing research, R&D, and they want eyeballs on this. And we complain so much about how phones are all the samesies that, yeah, the quirky iPod Nokia phone is awesome. And honestly, like, hey, bully on Honor for really trying to imagine what an AI phone could be. So there you go. If you're interested, a couple different places. Yeah, just look up the Honor robot phone. You'll find pictures of it. And like, let us know what you think. Would you get this? Like, does it seem practical? It just, I mean, it kind of wonder about that.
I love the fact that they showed it like after that weirdo video that you could challenge whether it was real or not. Even with it being behind glass, it's like, yeah, it's real. Here it is. Like, we're not messing around. Like, I like that this is like, all it needed was the newspaper next to it with the date to prove that it's like, it was like, you know what I mean? Like this is proof of life. Like, I love that they're showing that this is legit, and bring it on. I want this phone. Like, I want to see what this weirdo thing does. It's awesome.
It's kind of fascinating to see it with the camera down, because then you can see, oh, okay, so the part of the thickness that we're seeing in the camera bump is like the cover that will slide over the camera when not in use. So that's interesting. But hey, they guys, they put a gimbal phone in a camera, or in a phone rather. The gimbal camera in a phone. It's a gimbal phone in a camera. Other way around. Gimbal camera in a phone. So innovation.
Uniqueness. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, gonna take a quick break, and then on the other side of that, we got a few app stories and some emails, so hang tight. Woo-hoo. All right, I am also apparently on the Perplexity beat for Android Faithful, which is fine. I'm a Perplexity user. I like them. Perplexity Comet, now available for Android. So this is their agentic AI browser. They released it on desktop a couple of months ago, and I actually use that pretty regularly. And now they have released it on Android, and so it is an AI chatbot, integrated into their particular browser. Yes, it can do the summaries, but part of what makes it unique is doing a lot of this across tabs. So that's one of the aspects. If you have a bunch of tabs open, you're searching, you're researching, you can have it kind of interact with all the open tabs, regardless of whether you're looking at them or not. So that's interesting. It has some integrated ad blocking capabilities embedded into the app. So there's that. You can, include a whitelist for sites that you actually trust if you want to. But then it also does agentic stuff as well, which is, it was weird. When I installed the app, it gave me like an example agentic action to like add this. I can't even remember what it was, but find and add this thing to my cart. And it just was something like that. I was like, oh, like which cart? What? Okay. And sure enough, it went into Amazon. It found the thing. It added it to my cart. It doesn't purchase, but it'll kind of get you to that point. And then since then, I've tried to do that again with my own examples, and I can't get it to work. So I don't know. I don't know what they did differently in their on-device like pre-installed demo action that was just waiting for me when I opened versus what I'm doing. But I can't get that part to work. Maybe you can. Contact at androidfaithful.com. Let me know. So that's the app. And, I'm curious to play around with it. I haven't really spent a whole lot of time with it, to be honest. But I'm curious.
It's so funny. I got Comet for the desktop.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whatever I will admit it. I will straight up admit it. The stranglehold Chrome has on me is real.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I cannot shake, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's comfort or ease of use or having, my password manager, having Bitwarden extension logged in, or what, just the dependency I have on it, or just, or complacency. But this is, Comet and even Atlas and other, the browser company a couple years ago came out with Arc, and I was like, I'm going to use this, and even Firefox and DuckDuckGo, as other people are coming out with competing browsers, I'm finding it more and more difficult to, I'll test drive them and go, oh, this is neat, and always go back to Chrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I spend 90% of my time in Chrome. Perplexity I use for a very specific 10%, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I'm not dedicated to it by any stretch, Comet.
Right.
And then apologies for my audio. Apparently it's getting all crunchy and I have absolutely no idea why.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. Samsung Galaxy S26 series apparently getting on the Perplexity bandwagon as well. This was a rumor that we heard about the S25. Obviously that didn't happen. Now we're hearing about the S26 series. So maybe they'll be right this time that there will be some sort of integration of Perplexity driving Bixby is kind of what the rumors are pointing to. And I'm curious about that. Will that, have any sort of impact on Samsung's improved relationship with Google, or is that the direction that these are headed, where it's like, yeah, you know what, they just have multiple AI assistants on them. You pick the one you want.
Well, what I like is that what I like about this is Samsung's insistence on we're going to make Bixby work, no matter what. Who in Samsung is so married to the concept of the word Bixby? Why? Can they accept that we have collectively rejected the concept of Bixby and just move on from it? And it's fine to have Perplexity or Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever it is, but why hold on to Bixby as a concept when it doesn't work?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a punchline.
There are definitely people out there that probably use Bixby. I don't know who those people are.
Are they?
Every once in a while they email in.
If you are a Bixby user and you are a happy Bixby user, email us at contact@androidfaithful.com. We want to hear from you. I mean, Huyen, you're our resident Samsung resident user. Do you have any allegiance to Bixby whatsoever? At all? I mean,
you're muted.
I mean, Huyen, do you even ever use Bixby? Is it anything that you ever would acknowledge?
No. You missed actually a couple of these because I was muted. No. Who's Bixby? I don't even know who this Bixby is. Okay, sorry, Bixby. I'm sure they're very nice.
Move on, Samsung.
Right. Move on. Yeah. So okay, we kind of were talking a little bit. So anyway, hopefully you saw our wonderful image that Ron generated with Nano Banana with us, and how well it handled text and logos. Well, Google is announcing Nano Banana Pro, which is, I mean, frankly speaking, y'all, is scary good at generating text with very accurate images in multiple languages. And if you're someone that is interested in creating mock-ups, posters, all kinds of content, Nano Banana Pro might be for you. And they had some really compelling examples on their announcement, which kind of blew me away. As I was like telling the story in the pre-show about how kind of when all this first came out, I was trying to like look up heart rate zones, and I got shown the most amazing AI slop. It made no sense. But with a Gemini 3 Nano Banana Pro, it's getting crazy good. And what's really interesting is that Nano Banana Pro is connected to Google search bases knowledge. So it's in a lot of sense, it's trying to actually draw like quote unquote real information for you. And then allowing you to remix that. Of course, as we've kind of heard in other versions of this, there's a lot of emphasis on being able to provide different styles, different colors, and to provide kind of consistency with, you know, kind of whatever style or lighting that you want to go to. There were a couple examples on the Google announcement of an infographic that it made that it wasn't slop. It actually was relatively accurate and very readable text. That is, in fact, a string of pearls. I had one of those and it died. But it's kind of crazy how far along this has become, how far along text generation has become, whether it's a short sentence to like longer paragraphs. I have to admit, if you showed me this like a year and a half ago, I would never have guessed it was AI because it looks that good.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
And if you look at the article, it kind of gives you even like the short prompt that you need to create these things is a little crazy. And of course, it's not just necessarily you prompting for something out of thin air. You can feed it an image. And, you know, as we've already can tell, Gemini and Nano Banana is really good at being able to kind of understand an image and be able to remix it. In fact, you can actually upload multiple images. There's like a little... Wow. Actually, yeah, and you can output in different languages. But yeah, there's an example that they give of someone uploading a number of character designs, up to 14 images, I believe it is, and then typed a very, very long prompt about these fuzzy characters sitting together and the type of TV they're watching and everything, and having the consistency of both the character designs, which were, again, the inputs to the prompt, as well as like multiple angles and different lighting and stuff all being respected. It's... I mean, I can't really poke at anything on this right now, other than the fact that, yeah, it's kind of scary good. There's like other examples too of, I mean, that one's a little, there's like an astronaut on the beach, which is a little more interesting, but
yeah, I mean, it's emerging of all
it's
those
emerging.
four elements, so
yeah, I like the fuzzy guys better, but yeah, it's providing a lot of, I think, flexibility and ability to kind of remix a lot of different things. And again, like they keep touting about how it's able to understand the individual images and create a cohesive composite, which is presumably what, you know, people in creative or, you know, advertising and other similar fields would need. It's also able to manipulate things like camera angle, adding bokeh or sharp, or anti-bokeh, like sharpening things, basically being able to play with the physics of a photo if you may, and being able to do that. Like it showed one example of being able to actually widen a shot that was a bit tight before, and things like that. So it's getting kind of scary. I guess like big props to the ability of Nano Banana, but yeah, it's getting kind of scary how good this is getting, and how this could be like they definitely are touting this for use in, say, advertising agencies and things like that. So yeah, thoughts, reactions?
I mean, I've been using it for, you know, like I mentioned earlier in the show. I obviously I used it for the Patron Pick image, but I've been using it to help, you know, flesh out marketing graphics or presentation graphics, or, you know, like I've been using it in lieu of Photoshop for quick actions, like, you know, make this, you know, give me a transparent version of this image, or, you know, strip out the background of this, or merge these two things into one thing, or that sort of thing. It's crazy. It's honestly, it's so powerful. I'm blown away by it on a constant basis.
Yeah.
The idea that it's hooked up to Google Search's knowledge base helps a bit. Like, so it gave a little infographic about a plant. And it was able to generate that from a very simple prompt. It's like, hey, make an infographic about this. And it took the plant, looked up what the plant was, probably using Google image search, and then actually looked up, I believe, real facts, ? About it, and then made a very compelling poster out of it. It's kind of scary. So if you're looking to get your hands on this in terms of availability, and we'll actually bring up the whole article. if you are in the Gemini app, you can go to create images, pick the thinking model, and even free tier users will be able to receive a limited quota of Gemini Banana Pro. After that quota ends, or after you use up your Pro quota, you're just going to be reverted to the original Nano Banana model. If you're on Google AI Plus, Pro, and Ultra, you're going to get higher quotas. So the same deal, but you're going to be able to kind of get more users out of Pro before getting reverted. If you're using AI mode in search, Banana Pro is available in the US for Google AI Pro and Ultra subscribers. Notebook LM and Nano Banana Pro is available for subscribers globally. And as I mentioned, they are making this available in Google Ads. Again, just for advertisers, because you can kind of see how, as Ron already mentioned, he's using it for marketing. Seems like a good place. Workspace customers, you're going to get in slides and vids, makes a lot of sense. And then in Gemini API and Google AI Studio, and in Google Anti-Gravity, you'll be able to use it. So yeah, they're really putting it out there, like literally and figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, all of this has synth ID in it. That was a little blurb at the end of the article, just because obviously it's a concern to be able to identify AI generated images. They do mention that, of course, synth ID digital watermark will be included, and there is a utility that you can use to like if you have an image and you want to like double check, is this like for real news or is this AI generated? It will allow you to upload an image and be able to detect that synth ID watermark for you. So there you go.
Very cool.
So scary amazing. Good, you guys. I was like, I'm actually a little shocked looking at it.
It's mind blowing. So cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that was our app news. We did hear from several of you in response to recent episodes, and we got some emails, and so we want to get through them. We got a couple of good ones from some loyal listeners. We love to hear from you. First up, Hilton Young writes in, a long-time AF viewer, says, "Hi fam. Listened to last week's episode where you asked if anyone was excited for Microsoft Copilot. Yes, I am. I learned about AI when ChatGPT was bought by Microsoft. I don't know if they were bought by Microsoft, but you know what I mean. When Microsoft and ChatGPT got in bed together. He said, I have so much experience with Copilot at work that I'm one of the pilot users using a pro license. It integrates well with my Office 365 and just makes work so much easier. I just started using Gemini, but it lives on a phone and I live on PCs. That makes it more of a gimmick than a useful tool for me. I'm a Windows admin, but I've done Linux and Mac. My favorite two uses for Microsoft Copilot are, one, having it look through my meetings and emails and remind me how I did something months ago, and two, using it in Edge to ask who is in a picture. So, Toodlepip, signing off we've heard from Hilton in the past, and he always signs off Toodlepip. Hilton Young, longtime AAA and AF viewer. So there you have it. Someone who is excited for Microsoft Copilot. I didn't think they existed in the world.
Oh yeah, sure they definitely exist.
There they are. So.
Thank you for writing in.
Yes. And then we got another follow-up email, and I'm going to from Kirill, who says, Hi, AF team. I wanted to add to the discussion about phone unlocking. We talked about this last week, in fact. I guess you haven't experienced this issue. Every time I go skiing, a few days in, my fingerprint stops working, and I have to start using PIN or switch to face unlock. For context, I live in Georgia and travel west for skiing to Colorado, Utah, or Montana. I guess the dry air and cold temperatures change the skin just enough so my phone stops recognizing fingerprints. I tried relearning them and it still doesn't work. I've always wondered how people who live there all the time deal with that issue, or if it only happens to me. Regards, Kirill.
Can't say I've heard of that one before.
That does happen to me, Kirill. The opposite, because I live in Colorado, and then my skin gets extra hydrated. Then it's like, who's this? Who are these? Who are these moist? Who are these moist fingers? Oh, that's not. Sorry. Who are these moisturized fingers? Like that's me. It's me, dude. I'm just in Maryland, not in Colorado. But that does happen to me. Or even if like I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it, Curl. Whether it's like pick the time at which your skin condition is at its most average. But yeah, no, absolutely. Sometimes it just stops working, and it has a lot to do with where I'm at.
And it's funny because so that was in response to our conversation about face unlock, where I was, where we were debating the value of face unlock, and I was somewhat skeptical of it because I was saying I don't really feel a need for it or whatnot. And I actually had someone on Threads respond, Sasquatch Zero, I don't know his name. He also said, I live in Montana, cold and snow. Face unlock is a great addition to my phone when I'm wearing gloves and cannot physically use fingerprint. Having both is an ideal solution because it gives us choice, the very key to Android. For my usage, simply unlocking the phone and nothing more is fine so far. However, it'd be nice to have more OEMs have their face unlock security validated so it can be used with digital wallets and banking, at least on the flagship tier. None of my devices so far, Pixels 5a, 6a, 7, and Samsung S23, have been secure enough for monetary usage with Face ID. Pay at the pump for fuel in the winter with Face ID would be kind of nice. First world problem, shrug.
So. I never know. It's weird because I never connected those two things. That it's only. You're right though. Fingerprint only, and then face unlock. Oh.
Yeah. Think about that. So I will. One of the rare cases, while I will admit, hey, yeah, I see. Now I get the use of face unlock in the extreme cold when you can't get to your fingerprint. And you don't have those. Remember, what was it, 15, 20 years ago, all the rage of those gloves that allowed you to use a smartphone with the tip of your gloves? Do you remember that? Yeah. So if you don't have a pair of those gloves, I guess having face unlock helps. So
I only have those gloves. All of my gloves are e-tip enabled.
I remember the year my mom got everybody all those gloves for Christmas. That was funny.
Back when they were just a little bit of silver thread or something, it wasn't as sophisticated, and they were very obviously the e-fingers.
Yep. Really interesting. So, all right. Well, if you got some more reactions, anything we discussed, or you have any thoughts about Honor's robot phone, or any other topic, or any other thoughts, email us at contact@androidfaithful.com. We love to hear from you. And we always love reading your emails on the show. So please get in touch. You don't write enough. I don't hear from you enough.
We want to hear from you.
We'd love to. Yeah. Whatever your thoughts are, insights, anything you want to share with us. I just love that now Carol and I understand the challenge of different skin textures on fingerprint reading. Thank you so much, Carol, and thank you everybody else. But that is it for us this week. We made it, you guys. It was a week, but I feel energized being here with you, with you listeners, and with you, Ron and Jason. Jason, what do you got going on?
Well, I know my audio is not too great, so I won't belabor it. But if you go to ZDNet, you'll find a new article by me, because last Wednesday I was invited out to the San Francisco Google office and got to talk with the people who, literally the leads of Gemini 3 and Nano Banana Pro. And I heard them say a lot of really interesting things, but a few things really stood out. So I wrote about it for ZDNet. So go to ZDNet, find me on there, read my article. I hope you enjoy it.
Very cool. We love your articles, Jason.
We do. I started reading it in show prep, and I was like, oh no, wait, I should just get to the show. Yes. Ron, what do you got going on?
Yes, so you can follow me. I'm out there on social media at RonXO, and you can go to threads.com/RonXO and follow me there. I've been posting up a storm, chatting with folks over there, talking about baseball, talking about talking about AirDrop, talking about movies, all the fun stuff there. In fact, there's a graphic there. I watched the Richard Linklater film Nouvelle Vague, and I posted about the parallels between that movie and his first movie Slacker. And I went to Nano Banana and made a mashup of the two movie posters for my post, and I did that with Nano Banana.
Wow!
Look
at that. Cool? That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
It looks great.
There it is. Go to threads.com/RonXO. Follow me there. That's where I'm most active. So.
I love Richard Linklater.
Yes, he's great. Good. Two good movies in 1 month from him: Blue Moon and Nouvelle Vague. Both very good. So
awesome. And I'm Android developer, randomlytyping.com for my stuff, like my talk at DroidCon London, which I think I need to link and things like that. You'll see the pink splotches under my face that Ron put on my Droid. But yeah, Queen Code Monkey at places, but I don't really social media too much anymore. But yeah. That's it for us, at least for the main show. Stay tuned, or not really stay tuned, but if you're a patron, go check out your feeds soon for our little after-hour show where we talk about things that we didn't get to talk about in the main show, like the 2 Patron picks that didn't make it, like about airplane mode, about graphene OS and hardware. Ooh, and a couple other things like bonus. We get to talk about a little more hardware, like something Huawei E, something OnePlus E, something Android Auto E. All kinds of E's in the after hours for our patrons only. But yeah, join us there. But if not, that's okay. next week. We publish this podcast every Tuesday evening. Again, write us in, pretty please. We love contacting you. Contact us at contact@androidfestival.com. And yeah, keep dancing. We'll see you guys next time.
So Nouvelle Vague, that is a movie or it's a documentary? Does it have anything to do
It's do with what?
with Slacker? Or you're just making the correlation between...
I was making the correlation. So Nouvelle Vague, he made a film about Jean-Luc Godard making his first film, Breathless. So Nouvelle Vague is new wave, right? It's about the French New Wave, and what I thought was really interesting was the fact that his first film, Slacker, was basically done in Godard's approach, which was the camera as an observer and the location as a character, and just following people and capturing what is happening. And then now 35 years later, he's making a movie about the filmmaker who clearly inspired him, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Oh, that is very much Richard Linklater, isn't it? The whole just following people and just letting things happen.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I'll have to check that out.
Neat. All right. Sorry about my audio, y'all. I thought I had it figured out. But I mean, now I'm like, okay, now I gotta pull out another audio interface. And
yeah, I don't know what happened there. Like, we thought we had it fixed.
haven't had any issues since I swapped it out.
Yeah.
Is it
But-
me?
But yeah, no.
I came back. I cursed you. I cursed you.
You
again.
cursed me. I mean, the similarity is that this is also a Focusrite, but it's not like all Focusrites are cursed. But apparently, the two Focusrites that I've had are cursed. So I'll use a different one. Ugh, I hate that. I hate the clicks because I don't hear them, and so I only know from y'all saying you're hearing them, and I can't fix it. Let's see here. Am I clicking right now as I talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different than last time. That's the thing.
It?
It felt like peaking. I don't know. It feels different. But maybe
So
I'm not.
okay, so if I'm talking blah blah blah, and if I turn down the volume, is that any better?
It is
Yes.
better so
Yes.
far.
Yep.
It is better. Okay.
Oh, now it's
not.
No,
Now it's not. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So I will turn it down a little bit further. Is that any better?
No.
Do-do-do?
No.
No, it's
No.
still doing the
No.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of like I'm distorting because I'm overloading. You know what I mean? I'm too loud.
Yes, crispy. It
Huh.
is that.
Yeah. It's not the
Yeah.
volume. Okay. Because sometimes that digital distortion is like you hit that ceiling and then it starts to break up.
Yeah.
The clicks started out not as bad, then got worse. Yeah. So then, God, I don't know. Ugh. So
Is it
frustrating.
is it possible? I know it doesn't make any sense. Is it possible it's StreamYard somehow?
It honestly, it could be because they have been rolling out an upgrade to their audio and video quality. I saw a notice about it.
Yeah,
today.
I saw it today. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's weird that it would just apply to me, and I've had issues before, so it's kind of
Like, is there
coincidental.
something about our? I don't know. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
bit rate or something like the way the input that we're sending to StreamYard for some reason it does not like yours for something, or it's not able to process yours in particular in the correct fashion because yours is just too fancy or something. I don't know. Like I don't.
I don't know. Hershey says most Focusrite fixes have you unplug and replug, and I did that twice. So, yeah, that didn't fix it. I wish it had. Okay, well, let's get a title real quick here. Android Grateful, Pixel Drop, AirDrop and Droids. Aluminum OS is the new Aluminium OS is the new Chrome. Bixby, not dead yet. Samsung, stop trying to make Bixby happen. Moist finger recognition.
Oh, geez.
I'm
When
just
it
all legs.
just came out of my face. I just knew it. Like, oh god, no.
What the AWDL, manifesting AirDrop, no more echo in the kitchen, honors chunky robot camera, manifesting AirDrop on Android, Google's Aluminium future on PC, In glass, no touchies. Copilot's Toodle Pip. Copilot Toodle Pip. Enter Grateful can work.
That's nice. That's cute. Or airdropping droids is, I think, topical.
Airdropping
but
droids. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
I do
Yeah.
like Android Grateful, but it's like I want to save it for a special Thanksgiving or something.
like
Well, this is Thanksgiving.
I know, but a special, like, I guess all Thanksgivings are special, but I don't know.
No, I was gonna say either Android Grateful or Pixel Drop or airdropping droids.
Airdropping droids. I like that. It's got a
Airdropping
nice,
droids.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
All right. And what is today?
All right, well, thanks for joining us, you guys. And Jason, sorry again. I had prepped rolling into your article and then with
It's fine. I was kind of hoping that you wouldn't intro me on that because of the audio stuff. I just kind of shut up there at the end because it's annoying.
I really did like your article, so I was like, ah.
Thanks. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it because they didn't allow, like, it was on the record, but there was no like filming. It was a super like intimate thing, you know. Like I said in the article, I walked in and I was like, wow, this feels like a therapy session because it was like this, you know, circle of like cushiony chairs or whatever. But I audio recorded it, but I didn't have any video. I didn't have any photos. And I was like, what can I do around this? Because it was some really interesting stuff. And so I was able to figure it out with the article. I recorded a video, but the video is just me talking. Like, I have no B-roll, but I'll probably just release it just because it's already recorded. Yeah. It's like, what do I do with that? I don't even know what to do with it. But anyways. All right. Well,
all right, you guys.
That's it, y'all. We're going to go over to our after hours and get that going. So,
all right. Well, everybody have a great Thanksgiving in the States. Thanks for joining us with us, and we'll see you back for the last month of 2025.
Ugh, my goodness.
My goodness.
We won't see you win, though, right? You're off next week, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
All right. See you soon. Bye.